the Airbnb studio, this is Peter Sissons.
Hello. Every day, news bulletins bring us the biggest stories from around the world. But we don't always hear about the many acts of kindness that happen every day. Is man kind? Well, we've uncovered a number of incredible stories that show that man is kind more often than not, that many go the extra mile, and that not all news is bad news. Our first is about a man paralysed from the waist down, who's been gifted the chance to walk again for a very important occasion. Christy Garrett reports.
An inspirational moment that's gone viral. It shows 31-year-old Simon Kindleysides walking for the first time in more than 2 years, after he lost the use of his legs when he was diagnosed with a neurological disorder.
Just can't put it into words, really. Having that many people see me and then write to me from all around the world to say they've seen my video.
Simon was hand-picked for this unique opportunity by Tom Priestley and the teams at Rex Bionics and Physiofunction, who are now extending their kindness and giving him the chance to use the robotic suit, free of charge, to follow his dreams.
Whenever I see someone or train someone new, they've all got their one thing they want to use Rex for.
After wanting to be a singer ever since he was a child, Tom is getting behind Simon for his next big audition.
I'll be watching as he takes his steps and does his first sing in the Rex. I'd love to see that. I think it'll be really impressive.
Simon says being at eye level with whoever he's auditioning for will be a boost to his confidence.
Just to stand tall, you know, to be 6 foot tall is a great feeling.
In the meantime, he's giving back himself, raising money for the Brain and Spine Foundation by taking on the grueling challenge of becoming the first person ever to hand cycle from London to Paris.
If you just stayed in bed and feel sorry for yourself, then that's a slow death, isn't it? I want to be an inspiration to a lot of people.
After completing this 300-mile challenge, Simon's hoping his next stop is riding high in the charts.
Next, everyone is familiar with guide dogs for people who are visually impaired. But how do you look after a dog which itself cannot see? Glenn is one of those dogs, and he depends entirely on his friend Buzz to see the world for him. And now, thanks to the kindness of a British couple, they've found a home together for the very first time. Jenny Cordingley has more.
Buzz and Glenn are best friends and were found abandoned together and rescued by animal charity Stray Aid. Glenn has lost his vision in both eyes and relies on Buzz as a guide dog. Buzz depends on his little friend for company.
Buzz and Glenn were brought into the centre by dog wardens. They had been found in a sea tunnel in Hartlepool. Buzz and Glenn were found together, so we realised they had to stay together. We do see some very lovely cases of bonding between dogs, but this was something really special.
Thanks to the kindness of their new adopted owners, Peter and Helen, Buzz and Glenn have a new home together.
We're both retired, so we've got plenty of time to allocate to this kind of thing, and there's nothing that we love more, really. Clearly, here was a pair that needed love. Put a couple of bowls down for them, and Glenn, who we made sure was only feet away, found his way to Buzz, slid his way along the side of Buzz's body, and either started eating from that bowl or found his own bowl next to it.
Now the two furry friends have a safe home. They are growing more confident. Glenn is starting to find his feet and venture around on his own. They have come a long way since Buzz took Glenn under his wing as a stray, but even in their new happy home, there's no keeping these two apart for very long.
And finally, a community giving something back to a woman who spent her entire life delivering to others acts of kindness. And that life has certainly been a long one. Louise Holland reports.
Every birthday calls for celebration, but when you're the oldest person in the world, you better make sure it's a good party. Susie Mushatt Jones, or Miss Susie as she's known, just turned 116 years old and celebrated with a cake featuring her favourite things: a pretty dress, bacon and chicken legs. Despite never having any children of her own, she has more than 100 nieces and nephews who say their relationship with their auntie involved one act of kindness after another.
She believed in life, but she also believed in love and giving, because she has given a lot of herself.
She didn't have any natural children of her own, but all the nieces and nephews and other children, she has helped and encouraged them.
Miss Susie never had a lot of money, but what she did have was used to send her niece to college. Then she established a Calhoun Club in New York, which raised money to start a scholarship for young African American people.
For about 10 years, they grew and grew and grew and had a chapter in every city. Chicago, Atlanta, Detroit.
Now the Brooklyn community is thanking Miss Susie for all she's done, with some kind deeds of their own. The Brooklyn Borough President has proclaimed July the 7th as Miss Susie Day, and the NBA's Brooklyn Nets presented Miss Susie with her very own jersey, with the number 116 on the back. Happy birthday, Miss Susie.
Well, we hope that this has inspired you. And for more good news stories from across the world, please visit youtube.com/Airbnb.